welcome everybody to another edition of Anime SHIYOU. Let's anime. No, I'm not doing any kind of weird hand thing. No, I'm pointing up to the thing up there, right? Let's anime. So this is episode 6 of the show. Actually, episode 5. I want to point this out. Episode 5 of the with the new name, but I think we're about to move into, well, I like to think of it as a milestone, which I'll get to in just a minute. So we've got viewers out there. Welcome, everybody. If you're going to be in chat, hop on in. Jay, hey, how you doing? Yay, hi. Hi's, everybody. I'm sure Stuka is with you nearby. Somewhere. He's always somewhere. Sitting there. Anyway, hi guys. I don't know who else is not necessarily in chat, but watching the stream. So hello to everybody out there. Good evening, because it's evening here where I am, which is just outside of Seattle. Anywhere else, I think most of our other viewers are on the other side of the Pacific, which means that it's tomorrow there. Haru, hey, how are ya? Hey, how you doing? Say hello to Jay. You know Jay. Jay, you know Haru. She's been in chat before, so talk amongst yourselves. Yes. So as I was saying, and as people drift in, I'll be sure to say hi. And to all you people out there who are watching, who aren't in chat, hello, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Stuka will be here soon. He ran downstairs to make some ramen. Well, you know, when you gotta make the ramen, you gotta make the ramen. So hopefully he'll be up there and we'll see him soon. And as I was saying earlier, the show itself is running into what I like to think of as a milestone. I was reading somewhere that in terms of podcasts that begin and whether they continue or not, most of them, and this really isn't a podcast, it's more of a stream, but I guess it could be like a live podcast of a sort with visuals. So a moving podcast, a visual, you know what I'm talking about, a live stream. But anyway, in terms of what was I talking about? Oh yeah, in terms of podcasts, a lot of them, apparently a good majority of them, at least what was the statistic was something like 70% of them don't go past 7 episodes. If they even manage to get 7 episodes, and sometimes they won't even get beyond that. So I'm kind of thinking we're approaching a nice milestone. 7 will be next week's episode, which there will be one. I guarantee it. We're at 6 right now. So all hail the mighty 6. So episode 6, and 6 in Japanese. Here we go, Jay. Here's your word for today. In Japanese, 6 is roku. Repeat after me. Roku. I'm probably botching the pronunciation, but it's roku. So, ich, ni, san, yon, go, roku. Here we go. Amber! Hey, Amber! Good evening, good morning, Amber. Amber, say hi to chat. Chat, here comes Amber. You guys remember Amber? She was here last time and the time before, I believe so. And I'm pretty sure May is probably going to drift in. And speaking of, there's May. Hey, May, hello. Hi there. Say hello to chat. Chat, there's May. May, Amber, Jay, Haru, and Stuka will be in just a little bit. And I'm sure there's probably other people who are not in chat but are watching. So we see you out there. We see you out there. You are watching us. We are watching you. Anyway, that sounds really creepy. But anyway, so yes, so lots of things going on for today. We've got anime thoughts coming up. We've got, of course, some Bandori to talk about. Yes, Bandori! So let's get things started. First of all, a quick shout out. I talked about her before. A gal named SHAY TAREE. I think I mentioned her a couple of episodes back, at least in the first show, when I was trying to do anime reviews. She was one of the gals that I started following on YouTube. She does anime reviews, manga reviews for the most part. And Jay, you will enjoy this. She actually just released a video, I believe it was today, where she talks about updates on the live-action Cowboy Bebop. So she's got all the news. She got all the news. Yo, that was sad. She's got the news. So I'm gonna put the link into the show notes at the end. Jay, check it out. She's got some updates on what's going on with the series, starring John Cho, your favorite. So she'll have all that info. And so right now, as it happens, IdleCon, which I talked about last week, has been going on. It started on the 10th, which is what, a couple days ago, Thursday I think it was, and runs until tomorrow. It's a free excuse me. Oh, pardon me. Something just escaped. What the hell was that? I don't know, sir. We'll go look for it. You do that. Okay. Where was I? Yes. IdleCon is going on. It's a free online virtual convention through Discord. I think I put the link last time if you guys are interested. And there's a bunch of more stuff that's gonna happen for tomorrow. I think they might be done for today. I'm not sure. There's probably stuff that you guys can watch before. And as I mentioned, Sumu Sumu, Risa Sumugi, everybody's favorite DJ Choo, was one of the guests of honor. I think her panel was either the first day or yesterday. Stuka, hey, there's Stuka. Oh, well, hi Stuka, chat. Here's Stuka with Spike. Yeah, I'm gonna wah. Spike hair, and you're disappointed. Well, there's some things that will translate. There's some things that may not when you go live action. I'm sure, if you're gonna try to do Dragon Ball Goku hair, it might not translate it quite so well. I mean, hell, Rick Hunter hair, Hikaru Ichijo hair from Macross, live action, at least from the cartoon, from the series, I don't know how that's gonna really fly. I mean, it's huge. It's like a saw blade. It's like a circular saw blade. If you know who I'm talking about. So, well, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some things that they're gonna tweak there. Hopefully, they get everything else correct. Check out what SHAY has to say about that, and see maybe she's got some insight into the hair and other stuff that they're planning to do. So as I was saying, IdleCon is going on right now. Choo is one of the guests of honor. Also, Karen Kagami from D4DJ was also a guest of honor, and I think her panel also was on Friday. I haven't had a chance to get to that. I just remember seeing lots of stuff on my Twitter feed about IdleCon from the different people who were there and panels that were going on, but I was working at the time and didn't get a chance to check things out. In addition to other things that are also happening, the Hibiki style event is happening as of now, I think. Well, at least in about an hour, Japan time, at 1 p.m. is the Hibiki style event, which has been flooding my Twitter stream all morning. Everybody who's going to be there, all the Hibiki agency SHIYOU are there. So they're having the big event. I think a lot of it is going to there. It's a combination of live, and there's going to be a streamed portion, or most of it is going to be streamed. Unfortunately, I gotta budget. I gotta budget these. Otherwise, I'd be just throwing money at everything and all. And because of the time difference, not much time to actually try and watch everything, because work. and all that. But so having said that, the Hibiki style event is going on, which leads us, of course, since I did mention Hibiki, to our next part. Here we go. And of course, you just had to let that intro, that music, just seep down into your pores, into your soul. And I'm saying that because of something that I'm going to get to in just a little bit, in terms of Bandori and those songs just seeping into your soul, just hitting you right between the eyes and right here in the middle of the chest. So Bandori talk. Bandori time! Here. They're here. Yes, look at them. Our girls. And yes, I realize I'm not wearing my t-shirt right now. But yeah, just so you know, I do own other clothes. This is Superman. The last son of Krypton. But they do get washed. So next week I'll put it back on, just to celebrate. But yes, our girls are here. Yes, Bandori, and of course, can't forget our Roselia gals. There we go. There they are. All right, excellent. So, Bandori, the game, Garupa, girls band party. Couple days ago, Roz joined the group, so now all the bands are there. All the bands are in the game. And of course, as it happens when something new, and with the ton of Raw's supporters, everybody wanted to get on the game, and their servers went down. Now you would think, come on, you would think there's enough, at least I would think, given the popularity that certain groups, or at least certain aspects of the game have, certain bands are going to have, that you would at least account for, hey, we're going to release this. They're a popular group. They're the last group to enter the game. Let's make sure we got enough server capacity for, everybody who's going to try and log in all at once. Of course, that's what happened. Everybody just went boom, and then the server went, I can't take it, bam, and died. Oh yes, legendary anime. I'm gonna call you Legend. You were here before. Say hi to everybody in chat. Chat, say hi to Legend. No K-On. No K-On. K-On is it's a girl band, yes, indeed. But it's not Bandori. So it's anime. So it will figure in. It does figure in. But anyway, so yeah, in terms of the game, Raz came on and the server went down. Come on, guys. I think you should know better. But then again, I don't know all the ins and outs involved in what they do. So maybe there was a reason they wanted the servers to go down. Anyway, and of course, everybody knows that the game is now coming to Switch. There was an announcement on the Bandori channel a couple of days ago. Was it yesterday? It's either yesterday or Thursday. It's coming to the Switch. The game will be available on Switch on September 16th. So if you have a Switch and if you don't have it on your phone and you want to partake of the game, or you have a Switch, it's coming in April. But in the meantime, some of us who already have it on our phones are playing. So I guess it's a preference. It's a preference. I don't know that I'm going to spend however much a Switch is going to run. What, a couple $100, and then buy the game. I've got it on my phone, so I'm gonna play it on my phone. So I've been playing it on my phone, so I'm gonna go with that. Let's see. So, just a little while ago, I mentioned when we switched the titles and we got the music that kind of came through and touched us deep in our souls. I mentioned letting it soak in because I thought I would share something I wrote about Bang Dream a couple years ago. I'd mentioned before that I had started a blog. This was in 2019. I was going to be doing anime reviews, and I started a blog in May of 2019 with the intent of being an anime reviewer. It's going to be like once a week or once every couple of weeks, post a review on some anime, and sort of like what I'm doing with my anime thoughts here on this show, but a little more per program. Unfortunately, it didn't quite pan out. I think after a few months, it stalled, and then I stopped the project. But on June 11th of 2019, I did post a review of Bang Dream, and I thought I would read to you what I thought of it at the time. Now, I will say that since then, some of my views have changed a little bit, in particular with regard to one particular segment, which I'm sure you'll figure out what it is. But so 6/11/2019, this is the review that I posted, and I'm gonna read that to you guys. I thought I'd share with you. So here we go. Of all the anime I've seen so far, there are only a handful that take top spot in my book, simply because they've made a dramatic impact on me. In the retelling of my anime journey, I use the phrase seared into my consciousness. Bang Dream is one of those. It's really a simple story, a story of 5 girls who form a band and dream of making it big. Fairly run-of-the-mill, if you think about it. Now, for something to sear itself into my consciousness takes a lot. That something has to be absolutely mind-blowing to leave an indelible mark, one for the ages. But a music anime? About a girl band? And a simple run-of-the-mill story at that? Am I blowing out of proportion? Truthfully, I didn't expect it from this show. Not when I started watching. But by the end of the first episode, I was hooked in, and it went downhill from there. The show excels in its portrayal not just of the friendship between these 5 girls, but also in their quest for stardom. All thanks to Kasumi Toyama. An endearing idealist and optimistic dreamer, Kasumi is our primary story driver, and it's with her that we make the connection. At least I made the connection. Her desire to find the star beat and to share it with her bandmates and with others is at once innocent and inspiring, and it resonated with me. That feeling of reaching for a goal, no matter how lofty, despite the odds, gave me goosebumps. She is the epitome of the oft-quoted adage, follow your bliss. Because that's precisely what she does. And along the way, she draws in the other girls who become her bandmates and her friends. She empowers SHAY, Rimirin, captivates level-headed Saya and stolid Tae, and embraces contrary Arisa. 2 of my favorite moments between the characters. In episode 3 of season 1, Rimi has just told Kasumi she doesn't want to join the band, and she runs off to her classroom. Kasumi comes looking for her, and when Rimi hears her name called out, she hides behind the window curtains. Kasumi walks into the classroom and easily spots Rimi, whose legs are sticking out from beneath the curtains. Kasumi calls out, "Rimirin, found you!" and proceeds to hug her through the curtains. A sweet, touching display both in Rimi's attempt at hiding and in Kasumi's hug. In episode 6 of season 1, as the girls are preparing for their school festival, Tae, Arisa, and Saya are sitting at a stair landing discussing Arisa's idea for their band name. Kasumi and Rimi show up with armfuls of supplies. Kasumi sees the trio and, in her excitement, bolts up the stairs to join them. As she does so, she drops supplies in her wake. Rimi looks on in horror, and Arisa and Saya frantically rush in to pick up the fallen items. Tae, on the other hand, with a beatific smile on her face, starts to sing the Japanese children's song Donguri Korokoro, about an acorn that tumbles down a hill into a pond, no doubt in reference to the tumbling items from Kasumi's supply run, and probably also to highlight Kasumi's childish enthusiasm at meeting up with her friends. Like the curtain hiding and hug, another charming interaction between the characters. And beyond just charming interactions, 3 sequences had me in tears. Kasumi's appeal to Saya to join them in episode 7, Saya reading the song lyrics in episode 8, and Saya at the festival, also episode 8. I'll let you experience that. Season 1 was a solid underdog story that hit all the right emotional notes and didn't waste its narrative pace. Season 2, on the other hand, while a welcome addition, diluted poppin'party's next chapter to a degree. I can see the reasoning, though. The Bang Dream game on which this show is based features several girl bands, so why not showcase the greater Bang Dream world in this season? Why not? Because I felt it lost focus. What could have been a wonderful second season exploring poppin'party getting to their next level is instead lost amid stories of the other bands in the franchise. Don't get me wrong, that next level story is still there, sprinkled amid the first half and occupying the latter half of this season. But much of the season was wasted narrative, and the story suffers a bit because of it. Had they instead created side stories or spin-offs in the manner of Love Live, one featuring Muse, the other Aquars, they could have told more solidly focused stories of the other bands. As it was, poppin'party's story felt slightly diminished. I'll say it here, I really wasn't too interested in the other bands. Maybe Glitter Green to some degree, since their guitarist and vocalist is Rimi's oldest sister, Yuri, and bassist Ri is a hoot with her plush demon Debiko, but we only see them in season 1. And while the more hardcore goth-like My Chemical Romance / Evanescence stylings of Rosalia seems to appeal to a lot of folks, it didn't do anything for me. Out of season 2, the character that drew me in was Rock. Starting out first as a die-hard poppin'party fan, she's eventually embraced by Kasumi and the others as a kindred spirit, and becomes a kind of proverbial sixth man. The recap of her story, underscored by the song Sing Girls in episode 3 of season 2, is heartwarming. That said, the series overall was wonderful. The story may have been run-of-the-mill, but the tale of poppin'party's rise through trials and triumphs spoke to my inner performer, and the relationship and interactions between the characters was endearing, touching, and heartfelt. All of this combined to sear a spot in my consciousness. And I know the searing is true because I've gone through 5 rewatches, and each time the goosebumps return. And so do the tears. Poppin'party and Bang Dream has stolen my heart. And that's fine by me. So, excuse me. So, as I said, that was a couple years ago. Things have changed in terms of my outlook. I still think I would have preferred if they had kept Poppypa's story and had additional shows or spin-offs, kind of like what they're doing with the Rosalia story now, an entirely new focused feature or episode, or long episode or whatever, mini movie or what have you, of each of the other bands. And I guess in the game, you do see each of the different band stories that are sort of interrelated with the other events that are going on in the game, but they're specific to each of the bands, so you can focus on each one. And so I think I would have enjoyed that, although I can see why they wanted to do it, and of course at the time there were only 2 seasons of the series. The third had not come into play yet, and I don't think that came in until 2020. So last year was season 3 premiered, and then, as we know, the rest is history. So I have nothing against the other bands. I think, of course, as everybody knows, who one of my favorite SHIYOUs happens to be the lead singer for Rosalia. I still think they're fine. I think they've gone up in my estimation since then. They're still number 2 to me. Poppypa is still my number 1 pick out of all the bands. I've heard the other ones. They're fun. Hello Happy World has a nice, joyful, very bouncy, upbeat outlook on everything. They're very fresh, and it's always fun and everything with them. I'm still, and then again, this is just personally. I know there's other folks out there. I know there are diehard Roselia fans or diehard Pasto Palette. They're diehard Afterglow fans. I'm still, yeah, Poppy-pa, as May said, poppin'party forever. Poppy-pa, zutto, Poppy-pa. Always for, and I guess it might go back to what Stuka mentioned about the first thing that you see that kind of keeps itself in your in consciousness, whether you see an anime first in English or in Japanese, that kind of sticks with you more and influences your outlook. That may be the case. That maybe because it was Poppy-pa's story, that's the band that I gravitated to. But I think they form the basis for everything else that happens in that world. I don't think it would be Bang Dream without that story. I think I don't think. Yeah, I personally don't think. I think they're the catalyst for the rest of the bands doing what they do, coming together as they did. I think that's the point for Kasumi's character. I think May have pointed this out in one of her Twitter feeds. The fact that all the pictures. I think that was you, May. Correct me if I'm wrong, or point me toward the right person. Anytime you see a picture of Kasumi, either in promotional stuff in the game or anything else, she always has a hand out, reaching out to everybody, as if reaching out to you, the user, or to other people, or to other fans. Like she's gonna take them by the hand and say, "Come with me. Come with me on this journey. Come feel the Starbeat." I'm gonna leave it at that because I can feel it in the back of my head. I'm gonna start. Just and Starbeat itself, the song. That was my performance last week. That took a lot because it's a good song, and it hits you. All their songs get to you, but I think for me that one just gets you. That gets me right in the middle. So that was the review. That was a review. Yes, thank you, May. That was you. Yeah, I knew, and that was a good point because I see it, and she does. Anytime she reaches out, she's always saying, "Come with me. I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna take you on this journey, and you're gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna be great. And you're gonna see all these other people, all the other bands. They're gonna come together, and Bandori forever, Poppy-pa forever. Preach it." So having said that was the review I wrote. Aside from the changes in how I feel about some of the bands, everything still is sit. It's 2021. I have a t-shirt. I have a towel, which I should have grabbed, but it's floating around back there. A little too far for me. But, yeah. This. Yeah. So, I'm firmly in. No doubt about that. And Arisa wants to say hi. Hello, Arisa. Konbanwa. So, kono bangumi e yokoso to all my Japanese-speaking compatriots out there. All right, so that was a review. And speaking of Poppy-pa, as we found out at the girls' talk party last week, they have a movie. Like their movie. Roselia has their movie now. There's going to be a poppin'party movie coming out January of 2022. So when the new year hits, boom, there's going to be a movie. I can't wait. I think it's supposed to. I don't remember if it's supposed to hit the theaters or it'll hit the theaters there. If it's going to hit theaters here, if we can somehow see it, or the DVDs are going to come, Blu-ray's going to come. Yeah, I'm just excited. Yeah, I can't wait to see what this is going to be. And apparently the storyline is they go overseas So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And it's interesting. I bring that up, and that Legendary brings up K-On! Because the K-On! Movie has the girls in that series going to play a festival, a music festival, in England, somewhere in London, and they have some misadventures where they can't figure out where they are. They go to wrong places and whatnot. It's a cute little movie. So I'm kind of wondering, well, are we going to see something similar to what? Yes, Amber, Happy New Year for poppin'party. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with if the overseas thing, are they going to do the same thing as K-On! Is that going to be a homage to K-On! I mean, after all, was it Pastel Palette who did a cover of Fluff Time, which is one of the songs that K-On! Does? I can't remember. May, you would know the answer. Was it Poppypa who did a cover of Fluff Time, or was it Pastel Palettes? I want to say it's Paspare. And I'm probably completely wrong, and it was Afterglow, but I don't know that that's Afterglow's thing. Or maybe it was Hello Happy World. But I remember hearing a cover of Fluff Time, and I'm going, wait, that's from K-On! Wasn't it? Anyway, I would probably have to look into that to see who was the who's responsible for that. But speaking of K-On!, since K-On! Got brought up, I've seen K-On!. I didn't see all of it. I think I'd mentioned this. I think I got frustrated in that the main character still, within 5 episodes, could not play the guitar. And I think I ended up stopping at the Christmas episode that they did, where there was, I think it was fake snow or something happened. I vaguely remember talking about this a couple episodes ago. So it's cute. I love the opening theme song, Kimi no Se by the Peggies, because they also do Centimeter from. It was both of them. Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that Puppy performed it live during one of their. I think it was the later lives. It was either 7 or 8. And Passapari, okay, is in the game, right? I think it was the 8th live. I think you had mentioned that they performed it. One of the later lives. It's not in the Budokan live, which is the Miracle Party, which I have, which always makes me cry because of what happens at the end. And if you guys watch it, you want to see me cry, show me. Watch me through all 3 seasons, the OVA, and then the Budokan Miracle Party, and I'll be just a sobbing mess. But it's good. It's good. It's cathartic. I think it's cathartic, and it's fun, and it's just neat to watch. Anyway, yes, Bandori rules. All right. So yes, there's going to be a movie coming the new year. Much like the movie, Rosalia got their own movie, right? Was it the early ones? The second live. Okay, I have not seen that one. I'm gonna have to take a look for that one. I thought it was in one of the later lives. All right, second live it is. Must make a note. I'm probably gonna find that somewhere on YouTube, because YouTube pretty much has everything that you're supposed to have in terms of video. So second live, I'm gonna have to see that. So yeah, K-On! Is okay. I think I would hesitate. I would probably say, and should we call this a hot take? Sorry, that K-On! Is sort of and I'm gonna piss off a lot of people who probably don't like who may not like hearing this. But what? Yeah, I'm back to the hot take. I think Bang Dream is an older K-On!, if you know what I mean. Like they've matured story wise. Does that make any sense? Anyway, K-On! Was fine. I prefer Bang Dream. So if you're a K-On! fan, I'm sorry. enjoy Kaon. It has merits. The characters are cute. The character designs, of course, are the same as Tamako Market. I think is the same character designer, which is a cute show, and that's on High Dive. Check it out. There's a bird, a talking bird who tries to find himself. Is part of the story. But anyway, I'll leave that hot take alone before I get flamed online. There's that hot take. Yes, all the swords pointed at me. So anyway, so we go from the girls' talk party to our next segment, because we know in the girls' talk party, I was there, as well as the rest of Roselia, and of course, I means Maho, and that of course means Cho, Seiyu, Sanjo, Ojo-sama, the Society of I and maho-nee Appreciation, which means, let's see, after they graduate. Jay, yeah, I think I only, like I said, I only saw the first few episodes, which I think is maybe even half of the first season. So anyway, I'll consider that hot take because maybe I'll get flamed online. No, I don't want to be flamed online. But yeah, no, everybody has preferences. There's some people who prefer K-On! Amber, as you so point out. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Poppy Pie and Bandori, and so Bandori. Having said Bandori, let's make the connection. I to review Starlight to maho-nee. I Maho, and we come to this little segment, which of course I have to show this. Because that's always fun to have the two of them there. Now, I want to share a little clip of something that I pulled. I want to share this as part of my I Maho tribute, and I believe this. You've seen some of the other ones that I've showed previously. I think this continues to showcase to the as Haru put it, if she's still in chat, she calls them the controlled chaos that is I and maho-nee. So here are two clips. The first one is from an early episode of Maho Channel, and if you guys, when I showed the little bit I think it was last week or the week before, with the ring gong, and then they have that little incident where she tries to grab the hammer, or Maho grabs a hammer and tries to ring the bell, and I just holds it for her, and she's pulling and yanking, and she's doing okay. So you'll enjoy this little bit from the first clip. The second clip is from an episode of Hibiki Style. I is the host, and she introduces Maho, who comes in, and here, a little sample of Controlled Chaos. Here we go.
Ready? Go! ちょっと待って私の足見てこれちょっと待って絶対嘘だよちょっと待ってもうね違う手首より肘が痛いおかしない？だからこれは私にとってマイナスなんだってわかるかな？相葉さんも守りたい女って言われたいんだよ。皆さんこんにちは。響の所属声優が YouTube でお送りする響きスタイル。今日の担当は相葉愛です。イエーイ。はい早速ねスペシャルゲストが来てくれているので呼んじゃいたいと思います。スペシャルゲストは富田真帆さんです。どうぞ。以上富田真帆さんでした。ありがとうございました。出させろはい、ということで、今回ね、少女劇レビュースターライトで一緒に共演しております天童マヤ役の富田真帆です。よろしくお願い
Okay. Um, Again, it never fails to make me giggle. Chortle snort. So the first one, the little the wrestling, arm wrestling. Oh my god, I love the look at Ai. Turns to the camera and she's got that look like, are you kidding me? Which she actually says something along the lines of, are you kidding me? Right in the middle. And her comment afterwards, after she defeats Maho, is that this does not bode well. More along the lines of, this does not bode well. This does not bode well for me. I want to be the one that somebody protects. I don't want to do to the protecting. So it's like, no, I don't want to be the strong one. I want to be, the one who gets to the protection. I don't want to be protecting everybody. Which I think is cute. And then in the second one, after so Maho goes running past Ai and she turns to the camera and basically she says, all right, that was Maho. Thanks everybody for coming. As if to end the show. And then Maho comes back. And the first thing she says is of course a reference to Review Starlight when she yells out position 0, because that's what her character says. This is position 0. This is Tendo Maya. Anyway, a nice call out to Review Starlight. And that's just fun. Now, if you guys get a chance to, I think I will go ahead and post the link. The link is to the YouTube of that episode, because the whole section there is a cooking segment, and at one point they switch places and they blindfold the other person as they're preparing food so they can't tell what's going on. And maybe I'll do this next time. I'll do the follow up to this, because Ai is trying to cook something and Maho's in the background just going nuts. And if you see what happens, oh my god, it's freaking hilarious. Just thinking about it, because I know exactly what happens. Yeah, it's good. I'll show you. That will be next time's. That will be the tribute for next time. Yes, May, they're both yabai. Haru, controlled chaos is a great descriptor for them. Yes, you're right, Amber. She didn't even try. She's just sitting there with her arm, and actually at one point Maho says, "I'm trying to use, that's my leg," because she sticks her leg out and says, "That's my leg. I'm trying," like she's trying to get leverage, and I just won't move. Oh my god. Oh, that's so funny. Sorry. Okay. I just love those two. That's hence, and that is why I have this. I've created this. Ojo-sama, yes, joyful in Society of Ai and maho-nee appreciation. So, all right. So with that, we go to anime. Let's talk some anime, guys, because lots of things are going on right now. All right, so 3 shows that I'm following up on: Saint's Magic Power, Nagatoro, and Killing Slimes. Let's start with Killing Slimes. How fun is that? I'm having fun. I'm really having fun with that show. There was somebody on YouTube, on Twitter, who had said they like it, but they're kind of confused because they're not seeing. They seem to be just running around meeting people, and there's not a big overarching story arc. And I think I mentioned this last time. I don't know that there's necessarily supposed to be one. I think it's true slice of life. It's little bits of things that are happening. I think them going on mini adventures and trying to help out, and being told, oh, this is what needs to get done. We're gonna go do this. We're gonna go visit the demon tower again. Talk to Beelzebub. I think that's kind of the point of the show. It's just mini escapades that they go on, and then each one is a little fun, and then they come back, and then it's sort of like the monster of the week, or crime of the week for a crime procedural. So yeah, I have nothing against that. I think it's fun. I'm enjoying the characters. This one, we just met Ayasa Ito, was feistly fighty. The other slime, the fighter slime, which I thought was cool. which is a lot of fun. And I wish they had more scenes with her than just, you know, that little section. But even that little section was a lot of fun. I'm sure we're gonna see more of her since she decided to become, spoiler alert, she decides to ask or become people to Beelzebub. But I'm sure Beelzebub is going to foist her off to the Highlands, which of the Highlands, and then all manner of chaos will just break loose. Excuse me, guys. Something in my eye. And yes, it's because I was crying about Bang Dream earlier. All right, so I'm really enjoying it. If you guys have not yet seen it, go check it out. I think they're on. This is going to be episode 9 or 10 now, because it's simulcasting right now on Crunchyroll. So if you have Crunchyroll, hop on it. It's a lot of fun. The other one that is also on Crunchyroll that I'm enjoying, and I was kind of hesitant with at first, and then it started to show signs of going in a direction that I thought, hey, that's rather cute. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. And you know, the whole thing with sus and translation aside, I'm starting to enjoy this show now. I was a little hesitant at first because the first couple episodes, it seemed a little dark, at least as far as what Nagatoro, her behavior toward Senpai, which I don't believe we ever really learned his name. He just keeps calling him Senpai. I might have to look at Wikipedia and see if there's actually a name for the main character. But as the series seems to progress, we get to this point where we can see that they care about each other in an odd way, in that way where, you know, how grammar school or, you know, grade school kids, if they like you, if the guy likes the girl, he'll punch her. It's a weird thing. I guess I don't know. I suppose it still carries on to adulthood. Guys will tease girls, or girls will tease guys that they like. I really don't understand it. Whatever. But it, you know, as long as so far as they don't tell each other how they feel, makes for conflict and drama, and is basically the basis of all British period dramas, right? They never say what they're feeling, and they just go around from room to room, not saying anything, more or less, in a British accent. But anyway, so I'm enjoying what's going on, and you can see the development here too, especially in the last couple episodes. The fact that in that one sequence, I think it was 2 episodes ago, where the girls are sitting in the park and those 2 guys come up and they don't really want to be there, and then Senpai comes up and says, you know, oh, I think, you know, we should get going, and the 2 guys try to bully him, saying, oh, what was that? I didn't hear what you said. And he says, we should get going. And Nagatoro says, yes, you're right, let's go. She gets up and starts to walk away with him, and then the other 3 girls also get up, leave the 2 guys going, what the hell is going on, and walk away. And as they do, they're still sort of chiding Senpai, but it's a lot more playful than it was before, and it's not as I don't think it's as mean-spirited now, and I'm really enjoying where it's going, because at some point, you know, something between the 2 of them is going to, if it's not completely gelling right now, it is gelling. The fact that there was that one sequence where she jumps on his back, she's about to fall, he grabs her to make sure she doesn't fall, grabs her leg, she freaks out and runs away, but the look on her face was like, oh my god, he touched me. Not in a skeevy way, but I didn't expect him to do that. So there is a connection being made between the 2 of them. It's kind of it's one of those where you want to watch, because it's so damn cute. By the point that they're getting to, here now. And then speaking of cute, speaking of people who have a hard time saying how they feel, although I'm pretty sure one of them is saying in not so many words, and the other person is not quite, is picking it up but doesn't want to admit it. Let's go to Saint's magic power. Wow, this last episode, episode 10, diary, boom, thank you. Wow, yeah, I think I was about to cry. It brought to light exactly what appeared to have been going on. I had an inkling. It had something to do with this particular, and I'm not going to spoil it by saying too much, but that the realization that SHAY makes, and she realized it on her own, but it's driven home by the end sequence just before the credits with the old alchemist. And if you watch episode 10, if you've been watching up until then, you'll see exactly the part that I'm talking about, because that's when they say, if you hadn't figured out yet, or you want clarification, this tiny little scene, boom, just lays it all out. And I love what they did when SHAY makes the realization. It's just this sort of collage of images, and yet there's always that one common factor, one common image that's always in all these things that you're seeing. And then when it crystallizes and you see, bam, that hit, that's exactly like when I'm gonna say it. That's exactly like when Saya opens the door to the gym and steps in, and Poppy-Pot turns and looks and sees her. And I'm gonna stop there because I can feel it coming. So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna take a drink, and as of course, we are not sponsored by these people, but I bought from them today anyway. So, oh, and of course, speaking of Bandori, I have pastry. That's right. It's not a choco cornet, but it's close enough as a chocolate croissant. So, Remy Rain, thank you. In honor to you. Ah. So, yeah. Yeah, so May says, yes, Say's realization and her reaction afterwards was amazing. Yes, I just love, and she has the cutest reaction. I mean, cute in that, cute, endearing. That's the word. She has such an endearing reaction, because what she does afterwards, it was sort of like that laugh cry reaction from me. And if you're watching it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because it'll hit you too, and you'll go, oh yeah. Anyway, so yes, I agree. May Say's real, and her reaction afterwards was chef's kiss, was just primo. It was right on the dot, right on the money. And I think they did an excellent job for that. So I am enjoying. Now, having said that, we are at episode 10. Chances are good that this is only going to last 12 episodes, and there may be a second season coming in. But given everything that's going on, and the point of the saints, of the saint being summoned to this new world, I'm kind of hesitant to say. I want to say I like what they've done so far, and yet it seems like I don't want it to suddenly finish or suddenly close suddenly. It's like, okay, we did all this work, and then it's a rush to end, because we've got 2 episodes left, and I don't know that they can solve the entire problem of this world that the saint has been brought into in 2 episodes. To do so, I think would be kind of sloppy writing. Personally, it's like if you took Game of Thrones, provided he's still gonna finish it, and he got bored by book 7 and said, okay, I'm just gonna end everything, and then in 100 pages, we solve everything, boom, wrap it up, nice and tidy. I think that would be kind of lazy. I hope they don't do anything like that. And I hope that they leave it open to that once we've set up everything. We spent 10 episodes setting up all that stuff. And the same goes for Nagatoro. There's 10 episodes of setup, and all of a sudden there's something that happens in episode 10 in Nagatoro where it's like, ooh, now we just, kicked it up a level. But are we too late because we have 2 episodes left? Right? Here, we've just kicked it up a level, but there's 2 episodes left. Does that mean we're guaranteed a second season? Where, okay, we're really gonna we're gonna raise it to level up here in preparation for for season 2 that we're going to get. And I hope that is the case, and it's not just gonna leave us going, oh, we're gonna wrap it up in a nice bow in 2 episodes, because like I said, that's kind of lazy. I hope that they haven't wasted 10 episodes of all this setup, because we still don't know Ira, the whole deal with her. Although it sounds like it might have been solved, given what happened in episode 9. But yeah, to wrap it up so quickly, I think would be doing a disservice to everybody who's been watching, like me, and everybody else has been watching up to this point. It's like, what? No, that's that would be lazy writing, and I don't think they're being lazy. Let's hope something else is about to happen that's going to kick us into season 2, and that there is going to be a season 2. And I haven't looked at any news updates saying whether it has been guaranteed for a second season for both of them. So we'll see what happens. So I'm hoping. I'm waiting to see what happens in the next couple of episodes. But yeah, there's only 2 episodes left, and it's like there's so much more to be doing. But anyway, so yeah, minor frustration there. But otherwise, go catch these 3 shows: Killing Slimes, Nagatoro, and Saint's Magic Power. Slime and Nagatoro are on Crunchy, and Saint is on Funimation. Go check him out. And yes, I'm still watching all the other ones that you guys have mentioned to me. Bento, I'm gonna be watching the next episode 4, I think. That's a slow going one. Again, I'm taking my time. I'm catching up on some other ones. I'm catching up on World Trigger. Got through a few episodes of those. Watched a couple more of Uma Musume, Horse Girls, Uma Musume. Watching more of that. Let's see, watching more of Survival Game Club with Ayaka, Saya as one of the characters, which is kind of fun seeing her in a slightly different role than Saya. And then another one that I just started watching, which I'm completely blanking on the name right now. What was it? I was just looking at it. Oh, that's frustrating. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So, the next thing that I want to talk about is something that popped up. I don't know if you guys saw this news report, and that kind of got me thinking. Well, one of 2 things. So Twitter is where I get most of my news. Not really, but some interesting things always show up on Twitter. Like I'm sure you guys probably saw somebody tweeted the whole thing. You're over 25 and you're still stuck in. You're still watching anime or doing anything, that's supposed to be just for kids. I think that whole thing. That seems to get brought up every few months, right? I keep seeing that get bandied around at least once or twice a year. It'll die out, and then somebody will say something about it, and then it'll all come streaking back, and people get be up in arms, going, "No, we've got a right to it." Yeah, sure. I think at this point in my life, if people say I like something that is childish, okay, that's on you. You don't have to like it. I'm gonna go ahead and like it, and I don't expect you to like it too. And if that means I'm not gonna be a friend to you, then all right, well, goodbye. Door's right out there. Don't let it hit you in the ass on the way out. Because I think at this point, I've spent. I can speak from experience. I spent too many years being belittled for liking certain things that aren't necessarily what everybody else likes. I'm not going to go into any detail right that's not a place for it here. But yeah, I spent a few years being in a position where I was belittled for liking certain shows. And that didn't sit well with me, and I dealt with it what I thought I had to at the time, but no more. So yeah, if somebody says that about something I like, if somebody says that, oh, you watch girl band anime, that's so childish. Okay, it's childish. I'm gonna keep watching it, and whatever you say is not gonna make me stop. If anime is childish, then so be it. I'm gonna be childish here, which leads me to this, what I'm gonna talk about next. So, if you guys saw on, I don't know how many of the other outlets have posted it. Right, Jay. Why can't people just let other people enjoy? Exactly that, Jay. Why can't they just live and let live? Let them do it. It's not harming anybody. Let them do what they want to do. If they like a certain show, go for it. If they want to do certain activities, go for it. It's not hurting you unless it's impacting you negatively. Then yeah, sure, say something about it. But if it's not, if somebody loves My Little Pony, you don't care for it. Why make fun of them? Why belittle? Why bring them down? Let them like My Little Pony. Let them like their Barty. Let them like, Polly Pocket, whatever it is. Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail Kids. If you guys remember those, I thought they were hideous, but I had friends who liked them. Go for it. Enjoy. Have fun. So yeah, Joy, this is why we can't have nice things, because there are people who are trying to make everybody else do what they think they should be doing. I think it's all BS. Yes, let people enjoy their things. Just let people be. Let it be. Let it be. Let them be. Let them be. Let them enjoy their stuff, right? Okay, so this popped up on my Twitter feed. Apparently, there's going to be a Lord of the Rings anime. Did you guys hear about this? Here, this is from Warner Brothers. I'm going to read a little bit here. Warner Brothers are set to produce an original anime series, or an original anime set in Tolkien's fantasy world. And this was announced Thursday. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, is going to be a standalone feature directed by Kenji Kamiyama, who last directed Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. And the producer... he and the producer have worked on Knights of the Zodiac, Saint Seiya, Ultraman, and Appleseed. And it's going to be a feature film. It's being written by the creators of Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. And apparently Philippa Boyens, who co-wrote Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit with Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh, is going to be a consultant. Jackson is not involved, but has blessed its making. According to insiders, it's being fast-tracked, and yes, they're going to release the movie theatrically. So two things popped up. Yeah. Going back, yes, Jay. It's not hurting anyone. I don't. Yeah, there's some people who just want people to be like them and look down on people who aren't. It's a human nature thing, and sometimes there's just some things of human nature where we can't even, it's hard to understand, but it's there, and this is why we can't have nice things, because you get people who just screw it up for everybody else. But anyway, neither here nor there anymore. So Lord of the Rings anime feature film. So two things popped up on my Twitter feed that I thought were kind of interesting. The first, of course, was that the argument, hey, is this even anime, because we're talking Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings isn't, specifically Japan-based stuff, unlike everything else, which, has its roots in either Japanese myth or history or whatever. This is, we're taking Western source, the Lord of the Rings, right? J.R. Tolkien. They just made a movie several years back, 3 movies, and then we had The Hobbit, which should have been only 2 instead of 3, but that's a whole another thing. So, is this even anime? And to this I say, and before I say this next thing, this is the reason why I think being widely, especially in movies, science fiction and fantasy, and then anime, and then I would say also in manga. I think this is one reason why I think and believe one should be widely read or widely knowledgeable, even in a sense, have a big survey kind of knowledge of a given subject matter. This is why I think this is important, because to the people who say, and I think this is going to be, can I call this a hot take? No, anyway, I just really wanted to use Flynn Rider because that's just a fun little graphic. No. So to people who say this you can't call this anime. It's not based in Japan. Why even cover that? Field Medic, hey Field Medic, FM, you're here. Chat, Field Medic, you guys remember him? Field Medic, say hello to chat. So Field Medic, right now, we're talking about the news that Warner Brothers is releasing a theatrical feature film, an anime film called Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim. It's going to be directed by the guy who directed Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. So, two things. One of the first thing that I'm covering as my hot take here, I'm gonna run that. There's that graphic again. I'm just enjoying the graphic, guys. I'm just having fun with my little program here, OBS. So the first thing is this even anime? It's not based on, as I was saying, it's not based on a Japanese source material. It's Western source material. It's J.R. Tolkien from the 40s, which we've seen the movies before and all that. And now they're doing a feature film anime, an anime of this material. Can this count as anime? And I'm saying this is one reason why I think one should have a wide survey type knowledge of your particular subject matter. I think it sounds right. Yes, I agree. FM. I think this sounds. I'm looking forward to this actually. But to the detractors who say, "Is this even anime?" This is why, like I was saying, if you're a science fiction fan, I think you should have read old science fiction and new science fiction. For anime and manga, you should have read, all the old, what I consider classics or vintage stuff, all the way up to the new stuff. Have a whole, array of knowledge, because let's not forget, Studio Ghibli basically did adaptations of Western source material for 3 anime. Tales from Earthsea, Howl's Moving Castle, and Secret World of Arrietty. You guys knew this, right? Tales from Earthsea is based on the Earthsea novels by Ursula K. Le Guin. Probably a lot better than, I would say, than the Sci-Fi Channel's adaptation that had Sean Ashmore, Kristen Crook, and Danny Glover, but who am I to say? So yeah, Tales of Earthsea, Ursula K. Le Guin, American novelist. She wrote Left Hand of Darkness and The Dispossessed for all you science fiction fans out there who happen to say. Yes, X-Men anime on Netflix. There's another one. Howl's Moving Castle is based on a novel by Diana Wynne Jones, who's a British author, and The Legend of Arrietty, or the Secret World of Arrietty, is based on The Borrowers by another British novelist named Mary Norton. These are children's stories from the 40s and 50s, I think. There's like a whole series of novels about these little people, and Arrietty is one of those. And as May pointed out, X-Men anime, that's a Western source, right? But they still made an anime. I still call it an anime. Castlevania. Again, I suppose it's not. I think it was a Japanese video game. But you know, there's another one who's not your typical. Well, no, that's probably not a good. Yeah. Yeah, I think the. Oh yes, that's right. Batman. There was a Batman anime too. Yes. Field Medic anime is more of a feeling than a hard line, though I'm sure some people would agree. I think, and you know, and then of course you're gonna get that one guy who says it's not anime, it's just animation. Anime just means something that's animated. The point here is actually something that Field Medic talks about. It's the style. It's the feeling. It's the style that we're looking for. I think when most people think of anime, it's the the quintessential big eyes, small body. Not necessarily that's chibi, but there's a particular style for anime. You can tell, you can differentiate it, Western animation style from Japanese animation style. There's a specific look, whether that look is classic Gundam, classic was it Creamy Mammy? If it looks like Cowboy Bebop, if it looks like Lupin, if it looks like Miyazaki, there is a look to the animation. If it looks like Violet Evergarden, for whatever it is, there's still that specific look to the animation, and that's the anime that we're talking. That when we say, I would say when I say anime, that's what I'm talking about. If it looks like Dragon Ball, if it looks like Ranma 1/2, if it looks like a Tenchi Muyo, if it looks like Evangelion, that's the anime I'm talking. That's anime. Yes, I know anime just means something, an animated film, a cartoon. And then speaking of cartoon, there's the other point that I wanted to put up. Before I get there, let's see what we do. For me, animation from Japan are made by, yes, there's specific names for animation from South Korea, China too. No, that's a good point. Yes, animation from Japan or a Japanese team like Kyoto Anime or Gainax. I mean, hell, Gainax, Studio New from way back. So all Ghibli for crying out loud. So anything made in Japan that's of that particular style that we're talking about, that's also for me is anime, which differentiates it from the styles from anywhere else. British animation is going to have its style. American animation has its style. Again, different countries will have a different style of animation. Anime, that name for me, is a specific style coming from Japan that looks a certain way. And so with regard to this, The Lord of the Rings, yes, sure, a Lord of the Rings anime, because it's being made by a studio in Japan or a Japanese team of animators. I would love to see what they're going to do with this. Apparently, according to the storyline, it's going to take place before the movies, so I would say this is just before the events that takes place in Lord of the Rings. So some of the stuff that was going on in Rohan, probably, I would guess, if I had to guess, just when Wormtongue tries to weasel his way into Theoden's graces, and the whole thing with King Theoden falling under Saruman's spell and influence. So it's probably going to be that, and the stuff that happens to Aomer and the rest of the Rohirrim when they're more or less cast out of Rohan and sent out to do, garbage duty, basically. So that'd be really curious to see where they go with that, and specifically what they do there. So yeah, anime is a specific style. It's, yes, in general, anime refers to animation or a cartoon. So a Japanese cartoon. And speaking of cartoons, one of the more interesting comments that I saw float around on Twitter was somebody said, and I can't remember who it was, or rather I won't say who it was exactly, but the comment goes something along like, why even bother making this an anime? To which I didn't say anything online, but it got me thinking, well, aren't we trying to bring anime into the mainstream? I mean, isn't that the point of that we're trying to do? I mean, with all these streaming services that are coming up, we've got Crunchyroll, we've got what is it? There's Retro Crush, Crunchy, High Dive, Funimation. There's that other one that comes out of from Australian and New Zealand only. We've got all these streaming services available. It's on Netflix. So more and more people are seeing this. Isn't that the point that we're trying to get to? We're trying to get to where when you see anime, it's like, oh, okay, it's that. And it's not regarded as, oh, it's just for kids, or it's only this kind of anime. Where Western animation, when you think of animation, most people have a tendency to go, oh, it's for kids. It's like a Disney cartoon. It's Bugs Bunny. No, because we've had all these other ones, other more serious looking movies. Atlantis. The Atlantis movie from Disney, yes, it's Disney, but they were trying to go for a more serious affair there. It's not all musical and singing cats and animals. The Black Cauldron was another attempt at that. We had Titan AE, which is another Don Bluth Studios did that one. That was a more serious adult animation, and yet still, even up to this point, most people, when they think Western cartoons, are still stuck on cartoons. Like they're thinking of SpongeBob, or anything like that. So why even have this as an anime? Why not? I mean, if the point that we're trying to do as anime fans everywhere is to get it out into the mainstream, to have more people, to have it be seen by more people. Hey, look at the stuff that we do in anime. We've got fantasy, we've got, isekai, we've got slice of life. Here, enjoy some. Here's Netflix, with a whole slew of anime that they've got. We've got some serious ones. We've got some goofy ones. They've got Clannad, they've got K-On, they've got all these streaming services that everybody's trying to get. And Retro Crush, good for them that they're bringing out more of the older anime back into the mainstream, or at least into general circulation. Even Amazon Prime has anime features. The other Danmachi with Ice Wallenstein is on Amazon Prime. They've got After the Rain, which is kind of a cute little story there. They've got Wotakoi, which is a cute one, and I might have to do an episode specifically on stuff that's happening in Wotakoi, because that's kind of an interesting topic there. And interestingly enough, SHAY TAREE covered something along those lines. Maybe that'll be one for an upcoming episode. Wotakoi. If you don't know what that is, it's Love is Hard for Otaku, and it's kind of it's a cute little series. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I think it's on Crunchyroll. I know it's on Amazon Prime, so go have a look. It's cute. But anyway, isn't the point trying to get anime out into the mainstream? I mean, Is there still going to be a stigma that we're going to assist? We're seeing a lot of hype with a Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. Supposedly, what was the last thing? Several billion in revenue coming in. Was it worldwide or something like that? Or, several $1 million in North American sales. And yet we still have people who say, why even make an anime of something? Why? Again, why not? Let's do it. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to a Lord of the Rings anime. I mean, if you really think about it, if you want to go back, 1978, the Hobbit animated feature by Rankin and Bass was technically animated by overseas. It was animated by a Japanese company. So it doesn't look like anime because the character designs are not typical of anime, but it was a Japanese company, I believe, who animated that movie. So you could say they've already animated Talkin by way of Rankin and Bass. And also, they came back with The Return of the King. Now, granted, they had music and songs that were a little more kid-friendly to some degree. I mean, if from The Hobbit, if you remember a scene, the greatest adventure is what lies ahead. That one. And then from Return of the where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. That one. Classic stuff, especially coming out of the late 70s, early 80s. But yeah, that could be considered anime. It was done by a Japanese company, but of course it didn't have the look of anime. But one could argue, if you wanted to really push it, that they've already animated the Lord of the Rings material with that with those two movies. Stuka says, I liked Wotakoi. Recovery to MMO Junkie. Yes, that was another one. I want to say that's also both on Crunchyroll and Amazon Prime. I think I watched both of those on Amazon first, but I did see there. Yes, those are cute shows, especially for otaku who are specific. At least in the case of MMO Junkie, who are just MMO junkies, really. So that was a nice little rom-com there. Same with Wotakoi. Those were kind of fun little shows. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. I think we'll talk about that next time, because there's some interesting things to cover with regard to the events, or at least things surrounding those two shows. So let's see. I think that was, where are we at? We're about an hour and a half in to our show. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover as far as anime. There's still stuff to watch. I still need to watch the rest of Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood. I just saw the first episode. Wow, that is some hardcore. I mean, it's this. We're talking serious. This is not something light. It's not like Harukana Receive or anything like that. It's not a sports anime. This is, I think I mentioned it before, alternate history Japan. Very serious, a little bit dark, magic, and girls with swords. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Lots of fighting and blood, but it is very serious and kind of hardcore. So it's not an easy watch. So I'm probably gonna go slow with that one, for that reason alone. So we'll see. We'll do more with that as it happens. So So I take it up to chat if you guys are okay with now, or if there's something that you guys want me to talk about or give my hot take on. Here, I'm gonna use that hot take. There we go. No, anyway. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are able to come out. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll call it early. Usually we end at about 10 o'clock. But there was no singing this time. So why don't we do that? Unless there's something that shows up on chat by the count of 10. 9, 8, hach, nana, rok, go, yon, san, ni, ich. Sing, girls! Sorry! I bet somebody you got that reference. I'm sure May and Haru and Amber got that reference. But anyway, so no, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it for tonight. We'll come back next week. We'll have more Bandori stuff. Oh, there's always gonna be Bandori stuff. I'm gonna find some Bandori stuff to talk about. There's always gonna be something that I want to say about Bandori because it's just so cool. It is. Arisa says so. Isn't she cute? Look at that. She's just hanging around. All right. Yeah, so let's call it. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. We'll see you guys next week. We'll talk some more. We're going to cover Wotakoi and also something else. Oh, yeah. No, you're all good, Field Medic. We'll see you next time. We'll if something else shows up on Twitter this week that I think I'm going to cover, we'll do that. And then we'll see what happens next with Saint's Magic Power and Nagatoro. I'm hoping to get to Nagatoro before chat next week, but depends on timing. And then Killing Slimes, of course. We'll see what else shows up. And anything else that pops up this week on anime that I will talk about, I will cover next time. Thank you guys for coming. Next week, remember, next week will be number 7. Yes, Wotakoi. Yes, we'll definitely discuss. Number 7 is going to be the highlight, the highlight time. No, it's the milestone. That will be our milestone. The fact that we get to episode 7 will be cool, and then we'll get to episode 8, and even furthermore along the line. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you. You guys have a good night. Have a good morning, and we'll see you next week. All right.